3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome back to Station 466. With me is Fire Marshal Shin behind the camera today, Lieutenant Gus, and you guys remember Firefighter Supples. So he'll be helping us out. Now we're talking about the biggest piece of apparatus we have here at the fire station, our crash truck. Firefighter Supples, what is a crash truck and what is it used for?
Well, this crash truck is used to respond to aircraft emergencies, put out fires. It has special tools to get into the aircraft and also to rescue those that are on board.
Awesome. So, not like a tanker, it has the same amount of water, am I correct?
Correct, it does, 3,000 gallons.
But also has something different.
It does have two other components, firefighting agents, on here that you're not going to see on the tanker, and that's going to be foam solution,
Okay.
and also Purple K.
So, we have a different way. The tanker, the water doesn't come out to put out the fire, but this does.
That's
so
correct.
These bumper turrets, right, or a giant water gun as I like to call them, we can flow, and what's something different that does as the engine that this does. So once you get to the firehouse, to the fire, right, and you can connect to the fire hydrant, the engine's not moving. This can do something different, am I correct?
That's true. The engine has to stop before it starts flowing water.
Right.
But in this unit, we can drive around while flowing water.
Because we don't know where a crash could happen. It doesn't always mean that the crash is going to be in a nice area where we can get to where paved road. It could happen that it could be in the woods, it can be outside of the airfield, and we need to be able to respond adequately. We can't talk today, guys. We got to be able to get there, right? And if we can get there with this, we can get anywhere. So it's almost like a giant tank, but looks like a spaceship. You got big wheels, you got 6 wheels, and they all can move at the same time. So it's the ultimate 4-wheel drive vehicle, but 6-wheel drive vehicle in this case. So we'll go over to some of the compartments, right? Here's where Firefighter Supples' gear is, because he is driving today, so he gets to put his stuff up there. Back here, what else do we have back here? That's the same as what we have in a fire engine.
Well, we do have some tools
Okay.
that we can use, forcible entry, and we have fire extinguishers. These fire extinguishers are a little bit different than what we carry on the engine because we have the Class D and the Purple K extinguisher. Those you're not going to find on the other.
So these aren't going to be like you have at school or like you have at home. These are going to be specific for a particular type of fire. Class D is a metal fire, so we can't put water on that because it's going to react to the metal. It's a combustible metal. Water, right? We can use that on paper, we can use that on wood, but we can't use that on electrical fire. Dry chemical, we can use that on an electrical fire because they'll put it out, right? Purple K, it's going to bond, it's going to stick to it, and it does, and it is purple, right? One thing we do have, like the engine does, is we have a cross lay. So we have fire hose that's ready to go, not just we're the giant squirt bottle, but we can grab these and go out and put out the fire. So what's the next compartment we have here?
This is going to be your pump panel. You have a structural pump panel in here that we can use, but usually the driver is going to stay in the vehicle and operate everything from inside.
Once you guys can see, he can do everything from inside of the cab and he doesn't have to leave. Well, a little different thing about this vehicle than any other one that we have here is the driver sits in the middle. Okay, he doesn't sit to the left like your mom and dad's car. He actually sits in the middle, right? So if this is set up, if we're not moving anywhere, he can get out and then monitor it. But if we're still moving to put out the fire, then he's not going to get out. Okay, he's going to stay with the piece. And just how much water does this carry?
3,000 gallons.
3,000 gallons, right? And it carries how much foam?
420 gallons.
420 gallons of foam. So if we have a combustible liquid, right, or fuel fire, we're going to use that foam. And it's going to mix with water, and it's going to look like a soapy solution like you do when you're taking a bath. It's going to act the same way. It's going to separate air from the fire, and they're going to put a blanket down so it's not going to continue on to burn. All right? So we'll walk over to the other side so you guys can get a picture of how big this really is. All right? guys, so this is some of that special equipment that I told you guys that we have on here. Now, what else do we have? What is this side for the majority?
This is going to be so that you can get into the aircraft and also to rescue those that are on board.
So just like a car crash that sometimes people get, and we have to cut them out with the jaws of life, we can do the same thing with these tools, but it'll be a helicopter or a plane that we need to get the people and rescue them from that aircraft that crashed or had a hard landing. So a lot of times the material is going to be a little softer than the car, but just like anything else, we need special tools to get in there. And these are like the jaws of life, but they're battery powered. I'll show you one of these. And just like your tools at home that your dad has in the shed or in the garage, they're battery powered. Now, if we need something a little bit more, right? We can use a gas powered circular saw, right? And if we need to change it, we can change the blade once we're done, right? Or if they wear out. But we check this every day, right? We have different tools in here. And we're always practicing. We're always ready to go. Okay guys, are you ready to go for a ride? So I'm going to walk around real quick and close some of these doors. All right, guys, so now we're inside of the crash truck, and we're going to go for a ride, and we're going to show you how this truck works. So right now, Firefighter Supples has got his seatbelt on, just like you have every time you get in the car. I'm going to put my seatbelt on, and we're going to get going, okay? So what were you doing just now, Firefighter Supples?
I was readying my bumper turret and my roof turret for a fire attack.
All right, so remember guys, we're always gonna get ready to go whenever we have an emergency call. So while we're on an emergency call, like an airplane declares an emergency, or it's gonna come down and has an emergency, they're gonna call us on the radio or they're gonna call us on the hot phone that we have at the fire station. We're gonna find out how many people on the airplane, how much fuel they have, how far out, and what kind of emergency they have. Just like when we told you about 911. Those 3 things that we needed to know, it's just like that. We need to know what's going on before we get there. So we're gonna go and meet them in a location that they're coming to the airport and they said, we have an emergency, we're coming in. So now, you guys will see that plane, or that model of a plane that we use to practice every day. So we're approaching that plane and just picture it that it was on fire and we need to go put that fire out. So just
operate that one.
Yeah, I'll operate this one. You got that one. So guys, remember, this looks, before you go, let's focus over here for a second. So guys, I just want to show you, just like you guys play video games at home, right? So a lot of that video games, you can go here and you can play just like a video game, but it's the real deal. We're going to actually go and use it, the water to put out a simulated fire that we have over there. Good to go?
Yep.
So guys, something different and unique about this fire truck is that we have a thermal imaging camera attached to the roof turret. So we can find out and look if the fire is completely out. We can tell by focusing this camera into where the fire is supposed to be. So guys, this concludes our ride on the crash truck. Thank you for coming. I'm Lieutenant Gus, and this is Firefighter Supples. And behind the camera, thank you again, is Fire Marshal Shin. Great work. Be safe. See you next time.